Good morning. This is Mrs. Glenn, and I wanted to help us celebrate National Read Across America Day. So I thought I'd share with you one of my very favorite books. It's called The Greedy Triangle by Marilyn Burns. Let's take a look. Okay, and look, we've got The Greedy Triangle as the title. Our author is Marilyn Burns, and our illustrator is Gordon Silveria. Okay, let me see if I can orient this. Once there was a triangle that was, as most triangles are, always busy. The triangle spent its time holding up roofs, supporting bridges, making music in a symphony orchestra, catching the wind for sailboats, being slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. So can you see all of those things that the triangle is doing? The triangle shape in the roofs, in our sandwiches, in the sailboats. Okay. The triangle's favorite thing to do, however, was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. That way I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. So look there at the position of the folks' arms and see that it has a triangular shape. The triangle's friends liked hearing the news. So you can see that the triangle is sharing with his friends as they enjoy cake. Looks like they've got some sort of party going on. One day, the triangle began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," it grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the triangle went to see the local shapeshifter. "How may I help you?" the shapeshifter asked the triangle. "I think if I had just one more side and one more angle," said the triangle, "my life would be much more interesting." "That's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the triangle into a... Did you say square? Because the answer is quadrilateral. A square is one example of a quadrilateral, but there are many more shapes that have 4 sides and 4 angles. Life changed in a wonderful way. The quadrilateral was happy with all the new things it could do. The quadrilateral could be a baseball diamond, or first, second, or third base. It could take a position on a checkerboard or a chessboard. It could be a television screen, a computer screen, or a movie screen. It could frame windows or frame pictures, and much, much more. Look at all of those things that our greedy triangle can do now that he's a quadrilateral. The quadrilateral's favorite thing, however, was to be the pages of a book. "I learned so many interesting stories that way," it said, "which I can tell my friends." So can you see him being the page of a book here as someone's reading, like we are? And then he's sharing with his friends. The quadrilateral's friends liked hearing the stories. But one day the quadrilateral began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," it grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the quadrilateral went back to the shapeshifter. "How may I help you now?" the shapeshifter asked the quadrilateral. "I think if I had just one more side and one more angle," said the quadrilateral, "my life would be more interesting." "That's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. So see, he is talking to the shapeshifter, and poof, the shapeshifter turned the quadrilateral into a, what's a 5-sided figure called? If you said pentagon, you're right. Life changed in a wonderful way. The pentagon was happy with all the new things it could do. On a baseball diamond, the pentagon could be home plate. It could be a section on a soccer ball, or appear inside whenever someone drew a 5-pointed star. Look at all those pentagons. The pentagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the headquarters of the United States military near Washington, D.C. I hear all the top secrets that way, it said. It's too bad I can't tell them to my friends. The Pentagon's friends couldn't help feeling left out. Oh, look at that. Those friends do not look happy. But there's a picture of our quadrilateral that's turned into a pentagon in Washington, D.C. He looks kind of lonely to me. After a while, time seemed to pass slowly for the Pentagon, and it became dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the Pentagon went back to the shapeshifter. So you're here again, the shapeshifter said to the Pentagon. Now what would you like? I think if I had just one more side and one more angle, said the Pentagon, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The quadrilateral, who turned into a pentagon, has now turned into, the shapeshifter turned our pentagon into a hexagon. Oh, let's see what hexagons get up to. Life changed again in a wonderful way. The hexagon was happy with all the new things it could do. The hexagon fit in as floor tiles in houses and patios and fancy crackers at parties and picnics. It worked as the socket of certain bolts and the prongs of certain wrenches. Look at all those hexagons. Even in a snowflake, it looks like there are some hexagons. How about that? We don't get many snowflakes in Florida. The hexagon's favorite thing to do was to be a cell in a beehive. I love watching the bees as they buzz in and out, it said. The hexagon spent so much time in the beehive, it was too busy to talk to its friends. Uh-oh. The friends missed the hexagon and couldn't help feeling ignored. Oh boy, that's not going to go well. Again and again, the shape became restless and dissatisfied and unhappy with its life. Again and again, it returned to the shapeshifter for more sides and more angles. The shapeshifter agreed to turn it into one shape after another. A heptagon, an octagon, a nonagon, a decagon, and on and on. Look at all those shapes. That seems exhausting. Finally, the shape had many, many sides and many, many angles. Its sides were so small that it had trouble keeping its balance. Its friends couldn't tell which side it was on and began to avoid the shape. Wow, it has so many sides. It almost looks like a shape that has no sides. Those sides are so small. Wow. One day, when the shape was going down a hill, it began to roll. Faster and faster it went, screeching around corners, crashing into fences and trees, colliding with bicycles and terrifying walkers. Oh my goodness, look at that. I hope he didn't get hurt. At last, the shape came to a stop. It felt tired and dizzy, lonely and sad. I almost feel bad for him, even though he asked for all that. Enough, thought the shape. I don't know which side is up. I can't keep my balance. My friends don't want me around. The shape could no longer remember why it had been so unhappy as a triangle. Very carefully, it made its way back to the shapeshifter. Aren't you happy yet? The shapeshifter asked. I want to be a triangle again, said the shape. I'm not surprised, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the shape back into a triangle. The triangle was delighted to have its old shape back again and kept itself very busy. Once again, it held up roofs, supported bridges, made music in a symphony orchestra, caught the wind for sailboats, became slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. Look at all those triangles. That certainly seems like it would be a busy life. Still, the triangle's favorite thing to do was to slip into place when people put their hands on their hips. That way, I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. Its friends liked hearing the news and were glad the triangle was back in shape again. The end. So look, here's a little review for us about our shapes. 3-sided shapes are called triangles. 4 sides are quadrilaterals. 5 sides are pentagons. 6 sides are hexagons. 7 sides are heptagons. Sounds a lot like a hexagon. I can't even say it, it's so close. So you got to listen carefully. 8 sides, octagon. 9 sides, nonagon, and 10 sides, decagon. 11 sides is an undecagon, and 12 sides is a dodecagon. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed reading The Greedy Triangle with me, and I look forward to seeing the other stories your teachers share. Have a great day, and happy National Read Across America Day.